Good morning. I am WaywornWyrm, and welcome to my channel. And welcome to my first weekly update in a while. And boy, was this a crazy week for the channel. And for me personally, just all around crazy week. So let's get into it. I know there was a comment that was left a few days ago, and I know in the original format of this, I'd read the comment now, but for a lot of reasons that will become clear through this video, I'm going to save the comment to the end. So, first thing to talk about, the week of streaming just finished yesterday, and it was awesome. For all of you who watched, thank you very much. I appreciated even the quick pop-ins that we had. If you haven't watched all of it, feel free to go back and watch it. The entire week is on this channel here in my video logs. And we did 6 days of Battle Brothers, and in the middle of it we did a game called Fate of the World, which is about climate change. Although that might be taken for I did it for the politics. No. I mean, it's a very hot button issue, especially here in the US, but I wanted to play it because it's a really hard resource management game, and also the guys over at Extra Credits, who I'm a really big fan of. I was watching a bunch of their games you might not have tried list, and Fate of the World was on it, which reminded me, oh yeah, I have this game. I remember liking it, and I actually like it a lot more than the last couple of times I've played it. So that's something to go check out. And when I uploaded my last 2 videos before starting the week of streaming on July 19th, I thought the week of streaming was going to be the big news for the channel this week. I had hoped that it was going to push at least the majority of the views for the week, and I had hoped that it would drive subscribers. Unfortunately, it did not do either of those 2 things. In fact, it was only about 13%, actually less, it was about 10 or so percent of the videos, or of the views I've had this week. And unfortunately, no new people that I'm aware of that are sticking around. But that is okay. I really enjoy the 18 of you, and am glad that you come and watch fairly often. But no, the week of streaming, I got about 20 or so views from, which was about what I was expecting. But the video I put up on July 19th, the second Ross 128 incident, blows that number out of the water. It has 132 views, and for about 5 days, from the 20th to about the 25th, that was driving between those videos and other people watching other of my videos just to kind of see what this channel was about. I was averaging about 1 view every 20 to 30 minutes for 5 days. And at its height, I had viewers from about half the states here in the US and most of Europe, Canada, good chunk of South America, some people from Africa, Asia, Oceania, the entire world. And I was confused. I had no idea why or where this massive influx was coming from. To give you guys an idea, I generally get about 10 views in any given 48-hour period. Let's go about 4 to 10, depending on if it's close to a time where I upload a video. And that's fine. I'm enjoying that pacing. So when we go from an average of, if I'm lucky, a view every 1 to 2 hours to every 20 to 30 minutes, that's a massively huge influx. And it's kind of weird when that happens. I haven't done any collaboration or anything like that. I haven't gone out of my way to try and boost our videos recently. But it turns out, and I didn't find this out until the 24th, but on about July 14th, the actual star Ross 128, which is a red dwarf star that is you can essentially think of it if we live in, if the Milky Way is a city, then Ross 128 is the guy who lives down the street. Excuse me there. But the guy down the street did something weird, and the star started. Well, it didn't start. This would have started a long time ago, but we started detecting, and by we I mean astronomers, started detecting really weird radio signals, and they're weird because they were not expected. But we kind of butt into one of the biggest failings that the entire field of science has in common. I'm not going to pick on astronomers here because, well, let's be frank, astronomers and astrophysicists, they're actually the ones who tend to be the best at this. And that is talking to the general public using the same vocabulary. And what I mean by that is, when they say weird and unexpected, so imagine you're driving your car, you're driving in your car and you're heading to work one day. And you make a turn onto a street that you drive down every single day. You take the same route to and from work, and so you turn onto the street, and all of a sudden, the street's not there. That would be weird and unexpected. But that's not what they mean. When they say weird and unexpected, they mean closer to, you are stopped by a red light that you're stopped by almost every day. You know that it's, say, 30 seconds long, but today it was only 27 seconds long. And you go, wow, that's weird and unexpected. I wonder what's up with that. Not, the road's gone. That's weird and unexpected. I wonder what's up. Those are both potentially weird and unexpected, but to vastly different degrees. And what this discovery means for astrophysics and just astronomy in general is Ross 128 part of a so far unknown subclass of red dwarf star, or can red dwarf stars, under the right circumstances, shoot off radio waves that we didn't expect? And that's kind of the whole story there. It's kind of like the TRAPPIST 1 system, better known as the Alien Megastructure Star, where, it's a really interesting star system if you're a super big astronomy nerd. Um, and super big astronomy nerds talk to fairly big astronomy nerds who work for, big, well funded newspapers and, gush about how weird and interesting this is. And somewhere along the way, it gets diluted down, and someone's like, could it be aliens? And so they go back to the trained scientists and go, are we detecting aliens? Is this what's going on? And the astronomy nerd says, probably not. Or the evidence does not suggest that. And those two phrases are terrible phrases, because what the astronomer is saying versus what the person is hearing, those are two super different things. What the astronomer is saying, because this is what they're taught when you're in upper level science classes, is you don't say no. You always leave the door open for possibilities. So a good scientist is never going to answer a question with no. But if they say probably not, or the evidence does not suggest such, or any, closely related phrase, what you should take that you should take that as no. Because, like, if you ask a physicist, if I let go of this ball I'm holding, will it hover here in mid-air? He will most likely say the evidence doesn't support, that idea. Because that's, there could theoretically be this really weird freak occurrence that happens, and bam, the ball hovers. Maybe all of a sudden there's an unexpected gust of wind that comes from directly below the ball that interacts on the ball at 9.8 meters per second, which is, that's gravity. Gravity pulls things down at 8.9 meters per second, which means every second the velocity increases by 9.8 meters per second until it hits terminal velocity. But I'm getting lost in the thicket. So let's go back. So that kind of describes what's happening with ROS 128. And I happened to release the video during the height of the secondary update article writings. And so that, as far as I can tell, that's why we had so many views. And a lot of people checked out my other videos, and for whatever reason they decided to not stick around, which, that kind of sucks, but that's their prerogative, and cool. But now we get into the comment. And this comment really, really rubs me the wrong way. And you could say I'm very salty about it. Um, because it is, uh, this isn't about the radio signal from the star Ross 128, is it? And that's what the words say. And I mean, there is one, two, three, four, five H's after the U in And I know there's a bunch of different ways, emotional cues that if this had been said in person, maybe I'd take this differently. Um, but I take this comment as snooty, for lack of a better term, and just it kind of grates on me, especially because if you play the video, it should be clear by like 5 seconds in, or if you read the description, and apparently that's what this person didn't do, and it just, again, it rubs me the wrong way. But yeah, so that's that comment, and it is pinned on that video, and ever since it happened, there has been a sharp decline in the number of views, especially since I pinned it. I discovered it on the, let's see, it was 3 days ago, so 2 days ago, on the 25th, is when I pinned that comment, and almost immediately my views started decreasing, and by now, on the evening of the 27th, we're back down to normal. In the last 48 hours, the most views I've had in any given hour is, let it load real quick, 3 views between 9 and 10 a.m. on the 26th. So, yeah. Got someone from the United States watching right now, and that's awesome. Yay, USA. And, between 5 and 6, I had 2 views from Canada. And thank you, Canada. But yeah, so we're back down to normal after that pinned comment, and maybe that's affecting me a little bit, is the fact that there was this comment that I didn't really appreciate, and, once people started watching it, they're like, oh, I just came here to learn more about what's happening with the star Ross 128. This isn't about that. I'll go elsewhere. So that is the biggest news this week. This is actually a really long video. If you made it to the end, congratulations and thank you. This is longer than most of my non-streaming videos, so I hope you enjoyed it. I have the next segment in The Art of War coming up. It's a long one. It's probably just going to be 1 chapter instead of the regular 2. But let me know if you guys like The Art of War. I'm not seeing very many views on it, so, but thank you, and tune in. Probably tomorrow is when I will put up the next segment of Art of War, and next week I will hopefully have some really good personal news. I said at the beginning of this that it was a really crazy week for me, both on the channel and personally, and, I've been blathering on for almost 20 minutes now, so we're not getting into the personal stuff this week, maybe next week. But thank you all for watching, and tune in tomorrow.